Hello, New Wave of British Heavy Metal.com. It's the 21st of January 2021. If I may make the usual opening request for a favour, and that if you would please subscribe to the channel, that'd be first class. Excellent stuff. Now, today let's take a look at another band going all the way back to the original New Wave of British Heavy Metal days. That I'd add them to the list of the bands that were great and should have been much more successful than they were, and that's Prix. The graphic is for their third and final album, Samurai, but we'll get onto that in a minute. Prix, what can we say about them other than they were excellent? What excellent band, and really should have gone on to bigger things. They weren't necessarily out and out riff yourself to death, full on heavy metal. They were a bit more refined than that. They built a lot of melody into the songs, and not some also a bit of punk rock. I guess they were kind of like a British Styx or something like that, but with a harder edge. Yeah, let's call it that. But they could still punch out a rock song with the best of them as well. But just 3 albums, and that was it for Prix. Weren't around for long, but what a band, and some good names in there as well. I mean, in the original lineup, you had Bernie Shaw on vocals, who of course would go on to Stratus, Uriah Heep, and whatnot, and has been in Uriah Heep for about the last million years with somebody else that was in the original lineup of Prix, Phil Lanzon, of course. The first album, self-titled, came out around about 1980, I think it was. And did get some attention. It's a good album. I've got it and play it frequently still now. And got them a support slot with Manfred Mann's Earth Band, and you'd think, well, here we go then. We'll push on from there. Solid first album, bit of attention. Second album, There for None to See, probably a little bit unknowingly prophetic, given they weren't around for much longer. That album's solid as well, just like the debut, but it wasn't particularly good news for Bernie Shaw, because he went, in came none other than Robin McAuley. What a voice that guy's got, and of course he'd go on to work later with the likes of Michael Schenker and others. And There for None to See, like I said, another solid sort of rocky, pompy, melodic affair, and also almost gave him a hit single, would you believe? Keep on Believing got to around about number 75 or thereabouts in the UK top 100 chart. How about that then? But as with many bands associated with the original New Wave of British Heavy Metal era, Prix were one of those that, again, did attract some critical acclaim and some press attention. And that was demonstrated even further because they bagged a support slot with Sammy Hagar. I saw him on that tour. Sammy was top draw. What an entertainer. And Prix were excellent as well. I mean, I can still remember sitting there watching them and thinking what a good band they are. But didn't necessarily lead, well, necessarily is not the word, is it didn't really lead to any commercial success for them. Even with 2 solid albums and some high-profile support slots. The third album, I guess, was a bit of a make or break effort, and that was Samurai, and that's the best of the 3 of them, in my opinion. It's from first note to last, it's a really well performed, really well written, really well put together rock pomp kind of album. Again, I guess that British Styx thing comes to the fore at Samurai. Robin McAuley's voice is all over it. What a fine album. And would you believe they even toured with Iron Maiden on the back of that, and even that wasn't enough to kick them into the big time. 3 solid albums, big name support slots, and not to show of it really, other than 3 excellent albums that are all underrated. It's certainly in my opinion. They did try and keep going for a little bit. The drum stool became a bit of a revolving door. Even Clive Edwards came in for a while, but that, I think they disappeared in a puff of smoke around about 1984 or so. So only around 3 or 4 years. But what a shame, because the 3 albums, in my opinion, really are excellent, solid, heavy rock stroke pompy melodic albums and worthy of anyone's attention. So if you'd like to check them out, I would suggest you do. I've put a link in the description below to Samurai on Amazon, because I think that is the best of the three. But the other two are excellent in their own right as well. Also, a link back to the blog post if you'd like to read that. A little gentle reminder to subscribe to the channel if you would, please. I'd appreciate that. Be really good if you would. And of course, as always, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and take care.